your firm's strategy from the outside in. Jeff Bezos of Amazon recently said in a Business Week article, rather than ask what we are good at and what else we can do with that skill, you ask, who are our customers? What do they need? And then you say, we're going to give it to them regardless of whether we have the skills to do so, and we will learn these skills no matter how long it takes. He goes on to say something very important. He says there's a tendency for executives to think that the right course of action is to stick with what you're good at. The problem is that the world changes out from under you if you are not constantly adding to your skill set. That's what Amazon's doing. What about your company? Do you say, we must serve the customer and then go back to thinking about short-term stock returns? Do you define quality by your customer standards or by internal standards? Do you ask, what can the market do for us, or what can we do for the market? Well, it seems like everybody is listening to the market. Companies are investing heavily in marketing research, in social media, and all kinds of listening tools. The problem is that they don't really listen to the market with an open mind and actually end up confirming what they already know. When companies do this, well, they're essentially listening to themselves. And the problem is that the inside voice is always closer. It's more familiar and persuasive, and it will always drown out the voice of the market. For an outside-in strategy, we like the example of Tesco. If you look at their strategy, delivering and innovating customer value has transformed this British grocery chain from a faceless follower into a fast-growing leader. Tesco achieved this by evaluating every aspect of the company, every offering, every action from the point of view of the customer. We see an outside-in approach as table stakes for strategy these days. Without it, you won't last long. However, you must go further if you want to ensure that an outside-in strategy maximizes profits for your company. We offer 4 principles that we call the customer value imperatives that will make customer listening show up on your income statement and in the value of your company. 4 simple steps. Be a customer value leader. Innovate new value for customers. Capitalize on the customer as an asset, and capitalize on the brand as an asset. We see the rise of chief marketing officers, or CMOs, as an indication of the growing realization of how important the market is to companies. Once a company is anchored to the outside, to the market, its success depends on its people and how well they lead for customer value. We see it happening at Philips Electronics when the CMO, Geert van Kuik, told us, profits don't get made in the factory anymore. And at Walmart, when the CMO, Stephen Quinn, reminded us of Sam Walton's famous quote, there's only one boss, the customer, and he can fire everybody in the company, from the chairman on down, simply by spending his money somewhere else. These and other leaders focus on market insights. They make very tough calls on behalf of the customer, and they innovate across a full spectrum of opportunities. They build, protect, and leverage the customer and the brand. They bring the outside in and profit from it.